Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Monkey in the Morning. And wow, is this a weird time for me to be doing this? Hope you're all having a wonderful Friday. Mine's been annoying so far. Took the night off last night because my voice is not having a good time of it these days. It's very mad at me right now, and you might hear it break from time to time, and I apologize if that happens. But yeah, so I took the night off and could not sleep. Finally got to sleep somewhere around 5:30ish, and I woke up at 8:30 because I had a bad dream. I'm a grown man waking up from a bad dream. Now, in fairness to me, it wasn't just any bad dream. It was a bad dream that Little Butt got really scared, and that was enough to break me out of my sleep. Just her being scared. I'm like, oh, that's not cool. Grandpa can't deal with that he's trying to sleep. But yeah, so that's why I'm here. Why are you guys all up at this hour? It's a horrible, horrible time to be awake. There's like sunlight and crap outside. I also got to make first use of my ability to certify myself, you guys. YouTube has a new system where when you tell it you want to be monetized, you have to tell them what kind of content is in your video. And I didn't lie about mine. Cryptic, thank you so much. Wait, Bleach isn't for drinking? No, apparently not. And there's a bunch of idiots on the Twitter right now. We'll get into that in a minute. But where was I? I forgot what I was talking about. You threw me off. Oh, our self-notification thing. We get to tell YouTube whether or not we say bad words or whether we're going to cover sensitive topics. And theoretically, if you don't lie to it, eventually they'll stop letting the stupid bot decide whether or not you get to be monetized. I'm curious to see if it works. I'm not holding my breath, but I'm an optimistic guy. I'm an optimistic person, and you wouldn't think I would as much time as I spend on Twitter. As much time as I spend on Twitter, my faith in all of humanity should just be shot. But I'm hoping these little buttheads at the YouTubes actually mean what they say. Now, I will tell you, I did tell them that I would swear, and it's neat because in the swearing part, you can use mild swearing in your title or your opening. It's like you can say hell and damn, and you can drop F-bombs after the opening, and it still says available for monetization. Like, well, heck, I might actually be able to get away with this. And then later, further on, it's like, are you going to be talking about sensitive subjects like terrorism? Like, no, really not. And then there's a specific one for other newsworthy events such as COVID-19. Like, well, yep, I'll be talking about that. And it still said, yeah, you can be monetized. I'm like, oh, this feels like a trick. This feels like a setup is what this feels like. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, so here we are together to talk about some stupidity that's been going on since last night. Since last night, you guys, the stupid has just lasted. It's lasted since last night. And it upsets me that it has, because yesterday, Donald Trump had a press conference, as he's been doing every night for what, 3-4 weeks now? How long are we on the how long has it been going? I forget. Either way, I got to tune into just a little part of it. And as fate would have it, I tuned into the very part that everybody was losing their shit over. Here's the thing. I watched it and I didn't see any issue. I really didn't. I hadn't. I didn't know anything was amiss until we were getting ready to do Lords of the Night last night. And Satsu says, "Why is Tide Pods trending?" I'm like, "Oh, I don't know." So he looked it up and he's like, "Oh God." He says, Trump is basically telling people to eat Tide Pods. That's what some people were saying on the Twitter machine yesterday. And a lot of people are still saying today, including some morons we're going to talk about over there. Is that Vice or Vox? I forget which one this is. Oh, no, neither. The Daily Beast. Ha! We'll get to those dumbass shitheads in a minute. But here's the thing. What Donald Trump said. I should probably just find the video. And I know how to find it quickly because a friend of mine reposted it not long ago. Let's go to my friend's page. John Harold, thank you so much. Sad that the best news analysis is from a simian. I appreciate that. And the backhanded compliment that it was. No, it's sad that the best news comes from this idiot, which is right. You're not wrong. If you do consider my analysis the best, yeah. All of these talking heads that went to journalism school and these political pundits and all of this nonsense, the guy with the monkey avatar who talks about his wang all the time, that's who you're tuning in for. What does that say about the mainstream media out there? Anyway, so let me find this video because I want to make sure that I play the whole thing and that we're playing the part so you guys can get your own. If you haven't seen it, you can make up your own mind about what he says, okay? The video quality on this is garbage. Sorry, guys. But there's not much I can do about that. So pay attention to the audio. Where is my producer? Oh, here I am.
We hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light. And I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting.
Okay, right there, he's talking about because COVID-19 is dying pretty quickly when it comes in contact with UV light. They're trying to find ways that maybe we can get it inside the body. Hold that thought. Adam, thank you. Come for the wang, stay for the hard-hitting politica. I appreciate that. Both you coming for the wang and staying.
Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks.
Oops, sorry, guys. Internet issues. Stupid not having a producer.
In a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that so that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me.
So that's what he said. He said that he's interested in the UV light thing and that he's noticed that, this stuff dies on contact with disinfectants. And maybe there's a way to get it into the body. And you'll have to get with the doctors and see if there's anything that can be done. That's what he said. How was it sent out to the internet? He's telling us to drink bleach. Where's that one dumb son of a bitch? Hang on. I got to get this guy because I saw this and I was just like, are you insane? This guy named Matt Klein over on the Twitter said, this motherfucker basically just told people to drink bleach and eat Tide Pods. You cannot make this stuff up. Motherfucker, you literally did make it up. He did not tell anybody to drink bleach. He did not tell anybody to eat Tide Pods. He did not tell you to go out there and mainline any Lysol or any other stupid shit that's being said on Twitter right now. Cryptic, thank you so much. Where the fuck is the damn bleach part? Wow, it's amazing. He didn't say that. He didn't actually say that at all. Now, he also didn't say all about Tide Pods. I wonder what's considered the opening on here, because I was really trying not to lie to YouTube. I've gotten a lot better about my F-bombs. Excuse me. So sorry. I didn't mean to do that. He told people to shove a UV lamp up their butt and eat the Tide Pods. Yeah, something like that. Roto, thank you so much. He says, I'm here. Where's the Taco Bell? It's at the Taco Bell store. Oh man, my throat. I'm gonna be drinking a lot through this one, guys. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah, it's all over the Twitter as you can't even make this up. He's lying about. I probably shouldn't do that voice, huh? Thank you, ex-Bubba Hotep, who says, so what you're saying is I should eat fish tank cleaner. No. You shouldn't eat fish tank cleaner. You shouldn't eat. Oh God. Over on the Streamlabs, pumpkin trucker Matt. Thank you. It needs to be stated that he's not stating anything. He's asking someone if the stuff is even a thing, or saying that we should look into it. Hey, could this be something we looked at? Oh. You know what's going to happen, don't you? You know what's going to happen. Some moron is going to drink something horrible, and they're like, Trump told him to, and it wouldn't have been Trump. It'll be all you idiots out here who said that's what Trump said. You know, just like it was with the chloroquine. Oh. Over there on the at the Daily Beast, they published this little tidbit. Abandoning the little things like science, medicine, chemistry, and pharmacology, alchemist in chief Donald Trump used his daily session to leap so far off the deep end that viewers would not have been shocked to see him in a wizard's robe covered in mystic symbols. Quote, so supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just a very powerful light, Trump said. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do entirely through the skin, or either through the skin or some other way, I think you said you're going to test that too. Case closed. That's how they end this. Case closed. You want to hear something? You want to hear something interesting about that? The folks over at the Daily Beast apparently didn't get the memo on. We have ways of putting ultraviolet light in the body. Actually, right down inside the trachea. There's there's a company that worked with Cedars-Sinai Hospital and invented this way to do exactly that. What they do is they take a trach tube, put it down there, and then put a little what they call a headlamp or headlight. I can't remember which one they call it. Yeah, it's a ultraviolet light that they put. It just does UVA rays instead of UVB or C, which can be harmful, but UVA rays right directly into your damn lungs, Mr. What was it called? I'm sorry, Alchemist in Chief, Mr. Rick Wilson, who's like abandoning things like science and medicine. Science and medicine. What do they do over there at Cedars-Sinai? Somebody help me out with that. I want to say it's science and medicine, but that seems like it would be the wrong answer given this dickless shitbag tweet. Or sorry, that's not even a tweet. That's a story. I'm a monkey on the internet. You're an actual fucking paid journalist. And look, I get it. You work for the Daily Beast, so you're not actually expected to know your ass from your elbow. But Jesus fucking Christ, can't you even go search that out? Hey, can they put UV lights inside of a body? Yeah, they can. You can go look it up. Do you know back in the 40s and 50s, one of the ways they treated pneumonia was with UV light? Not just pneumonia, man. They used to treat all kinds of diseases with it to varying degrees of success. It's not like UV light is some brand new concept. It's something we're returning to because we have better, what's the word? Science now. We have more technology that we can do this stuff with. And we're taking a look at things that used to work, at least in some limited capacity, and seeing if we can make it even greater. And in a case like something with COVID, being able to put a UV light in somebody's lungs there might be a game changer. And you're just like, he's denying science. No, he's not. He's asking hey, you said you were going to look at this, right? And that guy goes, yeah, it's something we're looking into. Why? Based on science that exists. There's a video out there from the company who does this. What is it called? AYMU or something like that. I forget the exact name of the company. Sorry, guys. They have a fucking YouTube video about this that came out late last year. Had nothing to do with COVID. But yeah, it kills all kinds of things, including COVID viruses. Cryptic, thank you so much. A crippled monkey is better than a journalist. It's a low bar, but I'll take the compliment. And over on the Streamlabs again, Pumpkin Trucker Matt, thank you so much. That broad who was yakking about sunning her puckered starfish doesn't seem so strange anymore. She's killing all that COVID that gets splooged on her ass. Yeah, I guess so. Sorry, YouTube, I didn't mean to lie to you about what would be in my video. I have to start being careful with what I read. So we're making science great again. We're at least taking a look at things that we haven't looked at for a long time because we haven't needed to. And something like UV light, this is something we know. Do you guys know why sunlight is the best disinfectant? It's the UV light and the heat. Those are two things viruses just don't do well in. This goes back to Trump and they're like, you said it was magically going to disappear in April. Yeah, you got the time frame wrong, and it's not going to magically disappear. He was being facetious, and I don't want to even say facetious. He was being hyperbolic. That's the word, hyperbolic. In saying that, because viruses tend to die down in spring and summer. Why? Because we're outside more. So that's a true fucking story. Don't take my word for it. Go read any fucking scientist who talks about this stuff. And Prospero says heat and high humidity. Yes, that was the other thing they were talking about specifically with COVID, is that heat and humidity are just killing this thing. What they say, it lasts like 2 minutes out of the body in heat and humidity and high humidity, which by high humidity, I think, if I remember correctly, and somebody can correct me on this if I am wrong, I want to say they said something like 30% humidity, which, damn, you've never lived in Virginia, have you? If all it takes is 30% humidity to kill this thing, you guys in Virginia are going to be real good here in about a month. This is going to wipe that fucker right the hell out. YouTube, I'm not saying that as a fact. I'm making a joke based on the humidity and heat that happens in Virginia. I hate that I got to say stuff like that. Yeah, April's been a wild ride as far as weather goes. Yeah, I mean, it depends on where you're at in the country, whether you're warm or it was something like 90 in Arizona yesterday. It was like 50 up here. It's not fair. Prospero says that's why we don't see a flu season in July. Exactly. Flu season starts to get cold out is when the flu season starts, and it lasts through the winter. So it is best when hot and wet. Well, it's best to fight it that way. Certainly. If we just warm the hell up, I'd be happy. Prospero, I understand. Cold and humid isn't very good at all. 92 degrees here in South Texas. And it's amazing that Texas doesn't have the outbreak that New York does. California, where it is warmer, doesn't have the outbreak. And you know what? That's not taking anything away from Gavin Newsom. Maybe he did something to help fight this. Maybe he did something to help flatten the curve early on. Or maybe he's the governor of a Southwest state. Maybe that's what it was. I can't say for certain. I'm not the scientist here, but maybe that's what it was. Now, Trump was specifically asked about Louisiana because he's like, and I wish he would have just given the right answer because I don't know. Does anybody live in Louisiana right now? What's the temperature like in Louisiana these days? What's it been like for the past month? Because one of the ladies, when he said, the high humidity and the heat, and she's like, well, how do you explain Louisiana then? Louisiana's had had a pretty decent spike. Sayin says, I live there. How's your weather been? Temperature range. Like, oh, it's been a roller coaster here. Well, there you go. But it's also, if it's not warm, the humid doesn't help. It's warm, humid air is what kills it. Just like it, not kills it, slows it down. No, kills it. Kills it's the right word. Based on what the president said yesterday and what the guy who was up there with him said yesterday. 2 minutes outside the body. That's it. That's it. And it just can't live anymore. So surfaces, not a problem. You don't have to scrub everything down. I'm not telling you not to do this. I'm just saying you don't have to scrub everything down with Lysol. The sun will take care of it. But man, they treat this like Donald Trump is making this shit up, and they're fucking liars. They're just liars at this point. That guy, you can't make this shit up. Literally made the shit up. And then he tried to defend himself later on, go, you guys are not paying attention to the fact that I said basically. Yeah, basically he told you to eat Tide Pods because he said there might be a way for doctors to look into a way to cleanse the blood, to cleanse the lungs. Yep. That's exactly what he basically did, you lying sack of shit. But that's all it takes, man. All it takes. Them to get their little sound clip in. And forever and for always, it'll be Donald Trump told people to drink bleach. To the point, hashtag don't drink bleach is trending. There's about 14 different hashtags trending or specific word phrases related to this. And all of them are about how Donald Trump told people to do this. No, he didn't. Stop it. No, he didn't. Cleanse the blood sounds a bit fashy to me, right? Yeah. I wonder if these people know what dialysis is. There was some solid new info on blood thickening. Seems that clotting thing was real. I saw what we looked at, and I don't know why it would be real, or we have a whole host of things going on right now, and I'm not saying you're wrong about that, but we have so many weird things coming out. Like, right, there's less heart attacks now by 40%. What? There's more strokes. What? These are things that are just coming out now, and maybe it's just, after what, 600,000 cases? Is that where we're at right now? They're finally seeing this. Trust me, we read the articles on Minions last night. Sorry, it is real. I just read an article about UV lights not being able to go into the body. I trust you that the article's real. Just throwing that out there. There's also been two exciting studies done recently, one in New York and one in California, showing that COVID is a hell of a lot more prevalent than we might think. In both cases, we're talking about Us only knowing about 10% of the cases, which if that's true, man, poof. There's solid proof here, and this was a medical journal, hun. Seriously, I get you. I understand that. I've been reading a lot of medical journals lately. I'm not saying that because I'm laughing like I know. No, I really have. Up to and including ones that said that there's asymptomatic what's the word? Transmission, and the journals that's based on are dubious at best. We also read it was submitted to a medical journal. It hasn't been approved yet that COVID lives in your testicles. So, I mean, Sanguine vetted it. Okay, sweetie, there's no time it's had a decent peer review. There's no way it's had decent peer review by now. Even if they caught this immediately. I'm not being mean here. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying, I'm not taking anything as gospel right now. I'm the stroke case thing. That's something that they said, yes, this is happening. I have no reason to doubt them, other than the fact that I've heard all kinds of things so far, and I'm not taking any of it as gospel, not even if Sanguine vetted it for you. And yeah, multiple hospitals are changing their treatment protocols because of this. Several of them have started making blood thinners a part of their regular treatment for people because of this. Again, we'll see what happens. We're still, guys, we are still really early in this process. I mean, if we go by the actual number, or the actual first case we know of, that goes back to the end of November. So we're about 6 months into a new disease. And while it is a coronavirus, and we've had coronaviruses before, including SARS and MERS, the Spanish flu was thought to be a coronavirus. These things do exist. They are a little bit different to each of them. So each of them does take its own study. RDA Darth, thank you so much. Pookie, all of the misinformation and actual information is crazy. I just go on with my life, and I tend not to get all worked up over any of it. Also, this is the first time I'm glad to be in Virginia. Come live in Michigan for a while. You'll be glad to be in Virginia. I get worked up over blatant lies. I really do. You guys, if you've listened to the show, you know I'm not all that worked up over Corona. I think you should be careful, but I think it's widely overblown. And if those studies out of New York and California are true, then it is. It's widely overblown. While simultaneously being widely underblown. Underblown, is that a word? I don't know. Anyway, I'm not like freaking out over it. I never have been, but the stuff that is aimed at our president over this. I actually read a story last night where they were talking about this fucking stupid drink bleach bullshit that Trump never said, that we got to mainline some Lysol. Nobody said that, but they brought up the fucking chloroquine guy, the fish tank eater again. Sorry, fish tank cleaner eater. There's a difference between a fish tank eater and a fish tank cleaner eater. Two different things there. One's trying to eat glass, and that's definitely not good for you. Either way, I think underblown is a German thing. Well played indeed. There's the lies about the president don't help. And it is amazing to me how you can get in trouble for spreading misinformation, unless it's misinformation about what the president actually said. When you're trying to help spread a panic, I guess it's okay. Cryptic, thank you. You mean the dead dumbass? Yep, that's the one. That is the one. Motherfucker. And again, I can't prove it, but I would definitely be looking at his wife as a suspect in a possible homicide, because it's fishy that she lived. This stuff, especially in its pure form like that, is not good for you. It's not good for you in any form. It's a medicine. It's not a natural substance into your body. And it has to be very carefully regimented. And somehow he died from his spoonful and she was okay. That's not fishy at all. You can eat glass if you chew it up like crazy. Maybe you can, but I wouldn't do it. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying I wouldn't do it myself. The idea that guy is Trump's fault is absolutely fucking retarded. Not just stupid, it's retarded. You have to be retarded to blame that on Trump. And unfortunately, there's a whole bunch of retards out there who type a lot better than I thought they could. I'm just going to be honest. I didn't realize people who drool that much could type so well. And now we have those same assholes going, the president said that you should drink Lysol. Nobody said that. Nobody said that. And you're going to put that information out there and some moron's going to listen to it. Or some moron will take just enough to get themselves sick and then go crying to the media about it. Oh, dude, that was another one. Maybe that was the Vice article. No, it was a BuzzFeed article I saw about all of the people who went to the rallies. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Do you guys know who all went to these rallies to reopen the government? It was racists and Nazis and conspiracy theorists and Proud Boys and somebody called the Door Brothers. I've never heard of these guys. Apparently they're Republican grifters, you guys. Where even apparently some Republicans have denounced these guys. I don't know these fucking guys, but apparently there's 4 brothers who are running around the country, Krasensteining for the right. Who else? Who else did they say was there? Oh, anti-vaxxers and what was the other one? There was one more. Just this fucking article out of BuzzFeed that lists all of these fucking people, and it would be completely unworthy of mention if it wasn't for one part in this thing that really annoyed the shit out of me. In this article, he brings up the ambulance that got blocked. The ambulance that got blocked, you guys. If you guys don't know what that's about, that was here in my state. That was here in my state where Governor dumbass Whitmer got up there and said that these people kept the ambulance from getting to where it needed to go. And then the police, the hospital, the ambulance, all of the people actually work with the ambulance. This didn't happen. Didn't happen. Didn't fucking happen. We didn't have a single instance where an ambulance couldn't get where it wanted to go. Now, Gretchen Whitmer says that she based it on a tweet from somebody who runs a Twitter page with Michigan News. The editor-in-chief of Goebbels News, I forget, it starts with a G, but he tweeted out a picture of an ambulance in traffic, and it had its lights on, and it took 5 minutes to get where it needed to go. And yeah, the hospital, somebody said, didn't the hospital say? Yeah, it was a hospital. The police also said that we didn't have a problem. None. But there were people tweeting from the hospital, look, this happened. None of those have the ambulance in the picture. None of them have an ambulance in the picture. There's only this one picture with an ambulance that you're supposedly looking at, and they tell you it took 5 minutes. And that is what my governor slandered a whole bunch of people over. I'm curious how she found this. It's not like this is some major news site. That bitch had to go digging for this shit. She had to go just digging for this. Hammer, my friend, how you doing?
Monkey, how you doing?
Oh man, my voice is fucked up, but I think I'm holding it together okay.
You sound good.
Oh man, last night when I woke up yesterday, I sounded like Elmer Fudd on Prozac. I really did. Lady Monkey came in. I woke up at about 4:30 yesterday afternoon, and Lady Monkey gets off at 5:15, and she comes in here, and I hadn't said anything. In my mind, kept my mouth shut. My throat was hurting. She walks in, she goes, "Hi, honey." I went, "Hello."
I'm hunting the rabbit.
"Hello, baby. How are you today?" I sounded real bad. I really did. Gamer Valine, thank you so much. All good on sound. Thank you. Yeah. But like I said, I will be drinking quite a bit during the show, guys, because my throat is sore. So, Hammer, how you been, man?
I've been well, and that's kind of unusual to hear coming out of my mouth. But yeah, I'm not exactly sure what I've been doing right lately, but I've actually been feeling pretty good. So
it's all that social distancing.
Well, yeah, I've been doing that for about 2 years,
and it's finally paying off.
I kind of laugh when people complain about their social distancing issues. Oh, I had to be in my house for 3 weeks all by myself. And I'm like, dude, I've been doing this for years. It's like it's nothing. But yeah. I guess if you're not used to it.
Yeah, well, I also think it takes a certain personality as well. I've talked about this before. I'm very good at entertaining myself. So even as long as I've been here, because I'm at 4 years, Hammer. I even with Lady Monkey here, there's times I only see her maybe 3 minutes a day tops. And then there's other times I'm all by myself. But I can entertain myself. I don't get that bored that easy without being like, okay, I'll just jump over and do this instead. And I think there's a lot of people who they're not as good at that. They need like social crowds around them and stuff to keep them entertained. And they feed off that a lot more, which I do understand because I do need some social interaction. But it doesn't necessarily have to be in person for me. So yeah, I think it's a combination of getting used to it and, just being able to amuse yourself.
Yeah. Well, I mean, my girlfriend lives with me, so I get my social interaction from her. But I think really Twitter is really what keeps me active because I love getting into arguments on Twitter, especially with Claudia.
Oh God, Twitter.
You're there as much as I am. So,
dude, there was one this morning. Do you follow Mike Headley?
No, I don't.
Oh, you got to follow Mike. Mike is wonderful. He's horrible, but he's fucking amazing. He's funny as shit. He's been kicked off like 40 times off of Twitter, and he just keeps coming back. And he gets kicked off. I'm actually surprised he hasn't been kicked off recently.
What's his?
He's on a good streak right now.
What's his shtick? What's he all about?
He's just a dude who says things that he thinks are funny, and he fucks with people from time to time who he thinks are funny. And he's also a really, really nice guy. He donates his time to this charity where it's kind of a big brother relationship with this retarded guy, an actual retarded guy, who he just thinks the world of and talks really nicely about and just gushes over this kid. So you see him get accused of being like unfeeling, horrible person because he makes jokes once in a while. I'm like, you know what? Maybe you never say the wrong thing, but I guarantee you're not doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
So why don't you go suck it? But anyway, Mike's funny as hell. But I woke up today to see him retweeting some more of this stupid, if you don't date transgenders, you're transphobic bullshit. But then it got better. Because I start reading the comments to the original thread. And I come across this one that says, "You don't understand because you're not trans like I am." All right. School me. And it's Goes on to say that they once got broken up with because they weren't a real boy. That was in quotes, by the way, weren't a real boy.
Okay.
As though somebody said that to him. Keep that in mind. And it says, that kind of thing will make you dysphoric. I think you have your timeline backwards.
You're not a real boy.
Yes. If you think being rejected as trans makes you dysphoric, you have your timeline backwards. Dysphoria is what leads to the trans, which is what gives you where you're looking for some relief from that. But anyway, it goes on and it's fucking wonderful. Fucking wonderful. Somebody's like, well, you shouldn't be going out with somebody like that without telling them the truth. And this is what they said. This was at a point in my life where I thought I might be killed. I only went out with them for about a month, and it almost was at the point I was going to tell them. Like, whoa, did they find out or not? Because that kind of leaves that open. Did you get dumped because...
How can you date for a month and not know within a month the sex of the person you're dating?
Yeah.
That's 5 minutes.
Yeah, at the very least, third date. It should be first date, period. Sorry, trans people are like, no, that's not. No, sorry. First date, period. When you're getting into a romance. But see, there's this notion that, hey, if I can trick them into liking me, then it'll be okay. No, that shouldn't be part of it. This isn't Revenge of the Nerds, the rape scene at the end, where you bet them and they're like, oh, you were so great. No. Frank, thank you so much. They do still have moments of dysphoria even after. Well, yeah, most of them have dysphoria their whole lives. But it's not caused by being trans. What is Mike's at now? I lost track last year. Oh God, I don't know. I would have to look through my messages or my notifications. Me and him, he always sends me a link to his new one because I'm a huge fan of his and he seems to like my humor, so it goes well together.
Mm-hmm.
We actually almost got off on a bad foot because he was having a contest and he has this really weird headshot that he uses.
Mm-hmm.
And he was giving out a sweatshirt with that on it. And I said something to the effect, if I win it, give it to Julian. Julian is his little retarded friend.
Oh.
He's like, dude, what the fuck? I'm like, no, I think he would actually like it, a sweatshirt with your picture on it. And he goes, oh, yeah, you're probably right. Like, see, I wasn't being an asshole. I was looking out for your boy.
If you get a lot of shit on Twitter, you get to the point where you presume that everybody's looking to give you shit.
That's true. Yeah. You're not wrong about that. I have to be careful with that, with the way people say something to me. And unless it's overtly shitty, I will sit there and read it for a little bit before I respond to it.
Yeah.
And that's just a good way to be, guys. But I forgot what we were talking about before I got off on mic again. Oh, the trans thing. A lot of people were comparing this to, well, what if you don't like dating black people? All right. You know what's really hard to hide over dinner?
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. This person's probably black.
Unless in really weird circumstances, you're never going to reach under somebody's skirt and go, oh, you're black. You know?
Oh, I guess stereotyping probably.
I mean, that doesn't happen. You can't lie to somebody about being. Now, with the invent of the internet, sure, it can happen a little easier if you're, e-dating kind of thing. But once you're in person with somebody, that's not something you can lie about. And to me, it's not exactly the same because here's the thing. A a white man and a black girl, biologically each so, can still make a baby. A biological man and a biological man who has transitioned, whether full op or not, cannot make a baby.
Nope.
And there are a lot of people who want to procreate.
Well, the argument to that from the progressives is, what happens if a woman has a hysterectomy? She can't make a baby either. Is she still a woman?
And she is still a woman, but that is something you need to tell somebody. That is something you need to tell somebody early in a relationship.
If he's looking for kids, yeah.
Now, I'm sure it doesn't feel good to have the majority of the population be like, no, I don't want to fuck you. Because in the case of the person I was just talking about, this was a biological female to male trans who was upset that a gay man didn't want to fuck her. This wasn't this wasn't a heterosexual thing. And more often than not, when I've seen this argument, it's not a heterosexual thing. It's not that a heterosexual doesn't want to be with that trans. It's almost always this gay person doesn't want to be with that trans.
Yeah.
So like Riley Dennis, why won't lesbians suck my dick kind of thing? Like because they don't like dick. That's what it boils down to.
I guess if you're talking oral, I mean, gay guys are butt sex. So from that perspective, whether you're trans or not is pretty irrelevant. We all have an asshole.
Well, but unless that person likes dick.
Right. That's the problem.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're talking about simply where you're going to stick it, sure. But if you're talking about, hey, I'd like stuck too.
Yeah.
I mean, The string says, who doesn't like dick? I'm not a fan. I like mine. It's the only one.
I like mine.
It's the only one I care about. But yeah, this person is mad that gay men don't want to have sex with him. And look, I'm being polite, using your pronouns. Sorry, but they don't want to have sex with you because you have a vagina. That's why. You're a chick in the pants.
Yeah, you're female.
I saw somebody else who, because the original post said that people who won't date trans people solely on the fact that they're trans. Solely is an important word here. Because this other person said, you guys aren't paying attention to the fact that they say solely. He's not talking about just genitals or anything. I'm like, oh my God. That's literally what it boils down to for people. Gay or straight, that's literally what it boils down to is I want to play with the genitals that I find attractive. Mm-hmm. And there's nothing wrong with that. RVA Dar, thank you. Hi, Pookie. Could not find Hammer's Streamlabs, but found his IMDb. You have an IMDb?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't have any other social media except for Twitter.
Yeah, if you're looking for Hammer.
Twitter.
Yeah, sorry. If you're looking for Hammer, yeah, you look at him on. Oh, yeah, I guess you do.
I do.
You're known for Monkey in the Morning as yourself and as a guest, and Minions of the Zoo as yourself. Yeah.
I gotta look this up.
You want me to throw it in the chat?
I had no idea that was out there. Who put that out there?
I don't know. But there you go. It's in chat right now. But yeah, if you guys want to follow Hammer, follow him over on the Twitter machine. You know what? I should throw that out there as well. Unless you have the link immediately available, because it'll take me just a sec. I got it.
All the minions have an IMDb page according to Prospero.
There you go. There's Hammer's Twitter if you guys would like to follow him. Hammer's a good guy, man. Me and him came together, could have been contentiously. I was in my mgtow phase because we're talking, for the record, internet mgtows. And there's a difference between an internet mgtow and a hammer. That's just true.
It is true. I kind of backed away from it a lot anyway. I try not to, somebody asked me about it. It's like, yeah, those guys are assholes, Sure. So, but I mean, I don't think I'm really, don't think I ever was really mgtow. I don't think it's really a truism
Well-
because how they believe and how I believe, although it ends up in the same place, we get there in two different ways.
Well, there's also the different. I mean, it depends. Because you and I have talked about some of this stuff, and there's things you agree with them on.
There's things that you agree on too.
Absolutely.
I've heard you and Jack and even Scribe say things where I'm thinking I could have said that.
Right, indeed. But if you guys don't know what an internet MGTOW is, on the YouTube, look up Sandman. Sandman is the greatest thing about Sandman Hammer?
He's entertaining.
I made a video about angry MGTOW.
Oh,
And a whole bunch of people got very mad at me. And like, why don't you make a video about a sensible MGTOW? And they gave me Sandman's name.
oh,
And I went over there to look and I went, oh my God. Because Sandman, I don't know if he still does, but at that time, he had his linked video at the beginning, or when you go to his YouTube page, is his 4 stages of MGTOW. The final stage of MGTOW, according to this sensible MGTOW, is moving up into the woods by yourself and just watching society burn.
yeah. Is Sandman the guy who talks about women's vaginas controlling your mind or something like that?
The buttery smelling vagina juice that can control a man's mind. That's why you need to sleep with a condom on, because she can mount you when you're asleep, guys, and squirt that down into your wiener. Yeah, that's him.
Oh God.
That is him. The sensible MGTOW. Look, there's a lot of things I do agree with MGTOW on, but mostly for me, it's I lean more men's rights than I do MGTOW. There's a lot of ways men get fucked, and I think that needs fought against. Where the MGTOWs are like, it's not even worth fighting. Like, that's a defeatist attitude.
It is the defeatist attitude, but it is a practical and realistic attitude because
I don't feel it's practical.
It ain't never gonna change. It ain't never gonna change. Trust me on this. Women have way too much sway in the courts, and I don't ever see that even bumping even a small amount.
And it'll never change and only get worse if you don't fight it. Things don't generally just fix on their own unless society actually does collapse.
MRI's been fighting for a while and not getting anywhere.
Well, that's because, I'm gonna bite my tongue on that.
I think what's helping is, this sounds awful. God, I'm gonna get so much trouble for this, but I think what's helping is female teachers who are molesting their 13-year-old students.
Yeah, teach them not to rape.
That'll help because it's gotten so what's the word, prevalent, I guess. It's happening so much now that it's getting to be mainstream and people are hearing about it, and these women are starting to go to prison. They're actually getting sentenced, and that's
which is
a good thing, I guess, in a way.
I can't we reported on that one. The lady didn't even lose her teacher's license.
Yeah.
And the sheriff was like, look, we figure they'll just check it out. Nobody will hire her. Like, you didn't send her to prison. She didn't lose her teaching license. What? And your punishment is maybe they won't hire her. Go fuck yourself.
That was the way it was. It was just a smack on the wrist. But there was a couple of incidents back. There was a woman who got 2 years. And not suspended, she 2 years. She had to be in there for 2 years.
Oh,
straight up. I mean, it's not great, but it's something.
Hammer brings up the not suspended because we've seen way too many of these. 5 years suspended. Yeah. All of it. So didn't even have to go to prison. All right. Well, we had the Mary Kay Letourneau thing. That set things off on a real bad foot because the media treated her and her 13-year-old boyfriend as though they were a Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah. Well,
And,
they're still doing it now. I mean, when you see these things
Sure.
in the paper, it's had sex with,
yes.
not raped, because
Well,
they
in
can't consent.
most of these cases, I mean, it's not rape. It's not, because of our legal definitions of rape. It can be unlawful carnal knowledge. It can even be sexual assault, which, yeah, they don't put that in the headline either. But yeah, we have very weird laws about what is actually rape.
Well, over in the UK, you cannot commit rape in the entire UK if you're a woman, because the law says it must be a penis
Yeah.
entering the
Penile
vagina.
penetration.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's off the board there entirely. But here, I guess it's by state.
It is, yes. So yeah, there's a lot of times that it's actually not rape. Virgil, thank you. Bill Maher said, "Oh, Kay was in jail for being in love." I was thinking, why does that say what? Kanye? No, Mary Kay. Yeah, Mary Kay Letourneau. I'm not shocked. Maher is one of those people who plays that. Look, let's talk about this. Let's just get it on the table. Chances are a 13-year-old boy will be happy to sleep with you. Happy to.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we put the onus on adults to say, no, this is wrong. That's why we don't punish the children for it, because children make really bad fucking decisions. They're children. So they might not have felt in any way even put upon in any manner. They're like, hell yeah, I get to bang the teach. But that's why the teach is supposed to go, no, you don't, no.
Meanwhile, 10 years later, that person is committing suicide.
Yeah. Oh, kiss that ass on that. A teacher might not have made it to jail if one touched my nephew. Oh, no, I get you, gamer.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's something, it's not just limited to parents. That's something that all adults, I think, feel. Well, maybe not all adults, but 99.99% of adults feel is that if you go after kids, you deserve to die.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't fuck with kids, man. But we do. In the South Park episode was so right about this. And I mean, they went to the extreme of making it the teacher was banging Ike, who's Kyle's little brother. He's a baby. And every time they find out that, because Kyle goes and reports it to the police, and they're like, Miss, wasn't it? Like, yeah. They're like, nice. And we kind of do take that look at it when it's a boy being abused like that. And it is abuse. Sorry. Even if they like it, it's still abuse. Mm-hmm. It's not, they're not capable of knowing exactly what all's going on there. All they know is my pee-pee feels good right now. And that's not something we set legal definitions on. Anyway, I didn't mean to get off on that. That was complete tangent there, guys. But there was other things I wanted to discuss today. Oh, I did find the hang on. Here's a YouTube video that I talked to you guys about earlier. This is the AYTU headlight. This is the one, the ultraviolet light that they put inside a trach tube.
Ultraviolet light does penetrate the skin too, by the way. I know Sang was not here. He would back me up on that.
No, it can. The effectiveness of it, though, is dependent. It would be a whole lot, especially with what's going on with Corona. Get that light actually down there. It would be better than even, going through the chest. Because even going through the chest, which is assuming you're not a giant fat ass, is going to be the closest place to get to the chest itself. If you're a giant fat ass, into the lungs, giant fat ass, probably the back. Unless you got back titties. I don't know how big you are. Just saying. But yeah, if you get it actually in the lungs, fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah.
Well, that's what the coronavirus goes after. It goes after the lungs and heart.
Yep. Oh God, what is this?
That's more causality than anything else. It goes after the lungs, which puts pressure on the heart because you can't oxygenate the blood. That's why the heart has a problem.
The weird thing, though, is, I mean, we don't know right now what's going on with heart numbers. This is something that bothers me with what's going on with Corona itself. And we're not going to know for it'll probably take about 5 years for us to get really good numbers. Right now, they're saying, look, we're seeing a downturn in the number of heart attacks. Like, are you, or are you attributing them to Corona?
Exactly.
We saw with Elizabeth Warren's brother who died. And I'm not happy her brother died, no matter how he died. He's 84 years old, went into the hospital with pneumonia. And while he was in there, picked up Corona and died. Corona-related death. It's an 84-year-old man with pneumonia.
Yeah, he was.
Did he die because of Corona or with Corona? Because those are different things. And when he already had pneumonia, for fuck's sake, and what does COVID give us? Pneumonia.
Yeah.
is the most common. Anyway,
Pneumonia. People don't realize pneumonia is tough. I had pneumonia when I was a baby. I was only 3.5 years old. I had pneumonia in both lungs, and I almost died from it.
I've had pneumonia twice in my adult life. The first one, I thought I was dying, man. I went into the hospital, just horrible. I was in the hospital 5 days for that one.
Yeah.
The second one, they didn't even tell me it was pneumonia until my doctor called me. I'd gone to the emergency room 3 times and got all kinds of fantastical answers of what was probably wrong with me. And one, diabetic indigestion.
Really?
True story. That's what I was told. And I go home, and the next day my phone rings, and it's my doctor's office. And they're like, we're just calling to check and see how you're doing with that pneumonia. I'm like, my what now? And that one
sounds like our medical system.
Oh, dude, I was so pissed off. But on the right side of my breastbone, probably about 6 inches long, I had this horrible fucking pain. And that's what I described to these guys every time I went in. And that's what it was. It was pneumonia. And the pain from that lasted almost 2 years before it was completely gone.
Wow.
Cryptic, thank you. My older sister died of pneumonia at 7 years old. Ah, dude, sorry to hear that. Yeah, pneumonia is no joke.
No, it is no joke.
And yeah, you get an 84-year-old man in the hospital with pneumonia, and then they say, no, he died of COVID. Of it or with it? Either way, I'm sorry to hear she lost her brother. I really am. I don't like Elizabeth Warren, but I don't want her family to die.
Yeah,
so condolences to her.
Same general ideas. I have a feeding tube. I was in much worse shape earlier in the year, actually late last year. And I had a feeding tube because I couldn't eat. And it went down into the duodenum. It bypassed the stomach entirely. I had this like terrible food. But in any case, I still have it, even though I haven't used it in 6 months, because I don't want to go to the hospital to have it removed because I'm going to expose myself to a possibility of Corona. And I'm in, for as good as I'm feeling right now, you and I are kind of both in the same boat about our health. We're both diabetic, that puts the onus on us getting hit with Corona and dying from it.
Yeah, indeed.
So this tube is still sitting in my stomach. It's been there for, a long time, and I'm not in any rush to get it out because it's not worth getting the tube out, but dying from Corona to do it.
Indeed. Real quick, over on the Streamlabs, thank you, Frank, who says, if fighting COVID stressed your heart to failure, is that not still caused by COVID? Also, COVID taking out people in the age range of heart attacks logically could reduce heart attack because they shed from COVID first. Also, it triggers pneumonia. A couple of different topics there. But before I get to yours, I want to discuss this. Torcular says UV also causes hydroxyl free radicals, that and thymidine. I don't know how you say that. Dimmer foundation is what damages DNA and leads to skin cancer.
Yeah, that's UVB.
Yeah.
Keep in mind there's A, B, and C. And B is the one that's carcinogenic.
C is not good for you either. And that's why that headlamp thing that they're putting, the headlight, is that what it is? Headlight is only UVA.
Yep. It's the longest waveform.
So just to keep that in mind when we're talking about that stuff. Anyway, let's see. If fighting COVID stressed your heart to failure, is that still not caused? Yes, that would still be caused by corona. However, the thing is that they're saying that heart attacks themselves are down by 40%, which is weird. And this is in a couple of different places. It's here in the U.S., and I want to say the other place was Germany, but don't quote me on that. Somewhere in the EU.
Is it possible that corona is killing people who would normally die of a heart attack?
Well, that was his next part of it. Also, quote, COVID taking people out in the heart attack range. Possibly. There's also something weird going on with COVID. Several scientists have claimed they have found some AIDS-related material. I'm not a scientist, so I'm trying to make this as layman as I can, because I don't know the words, but I know what they mean. But there's AIDS-related material in there instead of it being the true coronavirus that they know comes from these bats. And there's a theory out there that this was made specifically to fight AIDS. And then it just got out of hand. They hadn't had it, tested or anything yet. And it, slipped out. And it may be that something with that, if that's what it is, or if it does help with this, that's doing it. It hits your ACE2 receptors. So maybe that's having something to do with it. Who knows? But again, we're not going to have real numbers for quite a while. Gamer, thank you so much. UVC is the one used in biolabs to kill RNA and viruses and bacteria. That's what he was replying to. Okay, just making sure we're on the same page about that, because when I talked about it earlier, I specified that. When I just brought it back up, I did not. So just making sure we're all on the same side. The downward spike might simply because of paperwork and how the data is gathered, and somebody could just be data mining. Yeah, both of those are true. Either one of those things could be right. We just don't know. That's the problem. And we have a lot of speculation going on. And it's interesting to look at, and maybe, that's the best you can say is maybe. I want to talk about Miss Amy Siskind. This bitch. Oh my God.
Your favorite girl.
Oh, she's quick becoming. So yesterday, this isn't even her, to be honest. This is her quoting the New York Times. Keep that in mind. She's quoting the New York Times. The briefing's critics, including Mr. Cuomo, have pointed out the obvious. With 2 hours of the president's day dedicated to hosting what is still referred to as primetime news briefing, who's going to actually fix the pandemic? What? That leaves 22 hours in a day. And it's not like Donald Trump throws on his COVID cape and runs out there fighting COVID crime. There's only so much he can do. You know the best they can do for fighting the pandemic? Letting people know what's going on. I feel like that's rather important.
Yeah. Transparency.
With 2 hours of the president's day dedicated to the briefing, who's going to actually fix the pandemic? Everybody involved? The vice president, the task force, the governors, who else is involved in this? The doctors, the scientists, all those people who aren't giving a 2-hour briefing all the time. And again, we're just talking about 2 hours a day. These fucking people, man. They make me nuts.
She is like the ultimate TDS person. I don't think I know of anybody who's bad as she is.
No, I don't think there is anybody worse. She's horrible. And I fucking love it because she's dumb as a rock, man. That is a dumb bitch, y'all. I know I say that about a lot of people, but follow Amy Siskin on Twitter. That's a dumb bitch. And she's getting more outrageous as time goes on, or outraged maybe is the better way to say it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that if Donald Trump wins this next election, she might actually try to start a revolution. Gamer says she's clearly never been taught about delegating tasks. Well, Gamer. This is Amy Siskin. This is a chick who used to be a Republican. She used to be a Republican, and then Donald Trump won. And she didn't just become not a Republican. She became a freaking commie. She is like a hardcore leftist now. And not just that, but absolutely hates Donald Trump. Prospero says, with what? The boxed wine brigade? Look, man, I'm telling you, you're going to see Amy in the street with a gun if Donald Trump wins. She won't know how to use it, thank God, but
that's kind of the cool thing about what happens when Trump wins, because I'm pretty hard to move me away from he's going to destroy Biden. What?
My governor's extended our stay-at-home order till the 15th.
15th of May. So that's 25 days, right?
Yeah. Another 3 weeks.
Everybody who I'm in Pennsylvania, everybody who lives around here, all my friends, like there's nobody who lives close to me, but the people who are friends with me don't seem to have any. I mean, I don't even know what the restrictions are in Pennsylvania because everybody's going out and doing what they need to do. And I'm not hearing of anybody being arrested or anything like that or being hassled. Everyone just seems to be going about their business, wearing masks, social distancing, but doing what they want to do for as long as they want to do it. And no one seems to be getting bothered. So I guess Pennsylvania is just ignoring it.
Man, this fucking bitch. And, you know, if she had just done the normal one that everyone else is doing, that'd be fine. But she's the bitch who's like, no, you can't buy seeds. All right. And she went on the news. Was it maybe 5 days after she passed that down, and it doesn't even matter because it's snowing in Michigan.
Yeah, I remember
that.
What?
It's not snowing now, bitch. It's spring when you should be planting.
We're both in states that are being run by Democrats.
Yeah. Danger says, is this Whitmer? Yes.
Whitmer, yeah. See, mine's Tom Wolf, I think is his name.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't seem to be doing any of the things that the other Democratic leaders are doing. So,
well, Whitmer, I guarantee you this is not what she actually wanted to do. She came out and said because of the protests, she might have to push this out even further.
Jeez.
And then she came out and said she hoped to be able to lift the restrictions by May 1st. And I think she's not a good leader. She's not. And I think she's in a fight between Democrats and Trump. Trump singled her out as being a moron because she is a moron. Trump singled her out as being a moron, though, because she did the response to a State of the Union. And I don't think it had anything to do with what she actually said. It was just her. So he's like, fuck that bitch. Because that's who Trump is, let's be honest.
Yep.
Yeah, so he gave her some shit, and now she's like, well, I can't back down. And especially now that you have all of these articles, like I said, that the BuzzFeed article that just came out today about, well, I'm sorry, it came out on my birthday. It was 2 days ago. I just saw it today about all of the horrible people who were involved in the protests and the egg all over her face because she's basically been caught lying about the whole ambulance thing and won't back down. Instead of just going, yeah, I got bad information. Like, no, it's good information, even though my own police force says it never happened. The hospital involved said it never fucking happened. But she's got to save that face, man. She got to save that face and stand up to that Trump man. He orange. I don't know if you knew that. Maybe COVID's caused by an orange president.
Yeah, I just I don't. Did you see that tweet today about this girl was streaming live to Facebook, and while she was streaming live, a guy in scrubs and a camera crew.
Oh, I saw that.
Road.
Yes. That was sent to us last night by Nuts. She said she didn't have it in time for the show. Let me see if I can find it. I know it's here somewhere. Oh, fuck.
Now, this is the very conspiracy theory mind that I have. I'm thinking to myself, the girl who was streaming to Facebook, did she organize all this?
She could have.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so you're breaking out a conspiracy, but you're creating a conspiracy because it seemed kind of really coincidental. Oh, I just happened to be, streaming to Facebook, and this just happened to happen in front of me. She was on the right time, right space, right road for this to show up. It's just like, yeah, not sure about this.
There's some people upset with me in my Twitter. Man, y'all need to relax.
In other words, it's a good day.
But I didn't even try. Why can't I find this from Star?
That's how you win the Twitter award. You make everybody angry without trying.
Wasn't it you who sent that to me, Nuts? Sent that to all of us? Fuck, I can't find it. Maybe it was somebody else. Whoever you were, thank you. Fuck. But yeah, so what happens is, this woman, she's filming, and she kind of sounded like Michelle Malkin. I don't know who it was, but that's who she sounded like. But this truck pulls up to a stoplight and drapes a flag out of the passenger side window. And this dude in scrubs runs over and holds up a sign in front of him. And she starts yelling, "I caught you on camera. I'm glad I was here. You're fake." And chases him off, except never actually chased him. So, she
just screamed at him across the road.
Yeah. It could be.
I'm looking at my Twitter trying to find it.
It could be a double dog fake. Nuts says, "Yep, hold on." Oh, you know what? Maybe it was a reply from her.
I saw it, but I don't have it either.
Yeah,
here it is.
Oh, yep, I found it.
Yeah, this is from Nuts.
Yep.
So yesterday I couldn't find it to show you when you were reading the story. Yep.
Yeah, it was a reply, and I just looked at her timeline. You have to actually look at replies. Tweets and replies. All right. Hang on. Oh, this bitch's voice is annoying as shit. Sorry, I'm going to turn that down. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Hang on. I'm being my producer for a moment. There we go. And it's dark on the sides because these people don't know how to turn their fucking cameras sideways.
You can see. Hi. So y'all can see. What's this flag say here?
Now watch.
It's definitely not. Oh. They're staging. I'm glad I got this. A stage media op. Look at that. Staged on Facebook Live. Don't publish it in your paper.
There you go.
They just staged one of those medical pictures with the guy.
One of those medical pictures. Stop it. I accidentally hit play again. There we go. Yeah, so I don't know if she's real or not, or if they're all fake. Somebody told me nobody's angry at me. No, there's people angry at me. It's okay. Trust me.
It's always somebody.
I anger people.
Yeah, you do. But I mean, every time you say something gets people, I don't either. Because every time you say things, I think to myself, that's perfectly reasonable. And then someone's giving you shit. I'm like, what?
Now, the only person that has I've offended recently, and I understand why, was Nicole Arbor. However, that shouldn't have offended her because it was a joke, and she claims to be a comedian.
What did you do? I didn't see that one.
She posted something about domestic violence. I can't remember what it was. And I said, I feel like there's a Matthew Santoro joke in here. Blocked immediately. I was like, yeah, come on, that was funny. She didn't find it funny at all. Whoops. Yeah, somebody recently like, you should talk to her. I'm like, yeah, she's not talking to me right now. Oops.
She blocked me a long time ago. She was talking about something about body images, and I sent her a topless picture of herself, and I got insta blocked.
Oh, no, her post was something to the effect of you need to, if you're being beaten or something, walk away kind of thing. I didn't even disagree with her sentiment. It was just I couldn't help with the joke. I mean, come on, Nicole. Come on. Are you the person? Look, I think Matthew made all that bullshit up anyway. And I based that on holy shit. Dude, relax.
Did you see his video of him talking about it?
Yes. Yes, I did.
Pretty good acting. If it's not real.
You know what made me think he faked it? This is his story. I uploaded that video without ever meaning to make it public.
And then he made it public.
Then he made it public for only a few minutes, but it got such a good reaction, he decided to put it back up. Like, you uploaded a video you never meant to show anyone. Bullshit. Why would you upload it?
Yeah, I don't think it's true either. I mean, I can see some catharsis involved, but
plus, I mean, have you seen her? If she hits you, hit her back. It'll be over. Yeah. Push her down the stairs. No, don't push people down the stairs.
She's not a big girl.
Yeah, you can.
She did a movie where she was topless in the movie, and I got stills from the picture, and she was talking about something about how, body image is this and, body image is that. So I just said, you got a nice body. And I sent her a topless picture of herself from the movie. And yeah, insta blocked.
Yeah. If you guys want to see those, just look up Nicole Arbor naked and they pop up. I've seen them. Stair falls for pregnant women. Stop it. You can get us in trouble. Yeah. So anyhow, we've got lawsuits flying left and right at the moment here. Where you at, Eagle? What's going on? Oh, you're talking to Mike. All right. I have no idea what's going on there. Back to the news. Because there was other stuff I wanted to talk. I didn't want to all be COVID today. Oh, had the top story on Drudges don't drink bleach. Of course it is. Even though nobody told you to drink bleach, we need to make sure we tell people not to drink bleach.
Bleach has water in it, and you have to stay hydrated.
Yeah, not with that though. It's not really good. FDA issues anti-malarial drug warning, citing serious effects and death. Trump has touted. Everybody knows that this is not. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Is this hydrochloroquine again?
Yeah. Okay. President Trump is facing widespread backlash after musing during a House briefing that disinfectants could be injected into coronavirus patients' body. That's not what he said. He didn't muse that you could. Is there a way we can do? I'm going to say it again for you. Something like that. So is there any way we clean the blood for people? I feel like feel like there's a way we did it. The Gretch stole Easter. Oh, and she stole more. God, I hate her. She's such a moron. You know, my state disappoints me, Hammer.
You're in Michigan, right?
Yeah. And I blame the weather, to be honest with you. The weather in Detroit. We hire really dumb people to be our governor. Usually it's, sorry, a woman. They get up there and they're all peppy and they're stupid. Granholm was a great example of this. She was peppy and a moron. And now we got Whitmer. I forget the one that was in between there, the other woman that was in there. Like, stop hiring these people.
Well, like voting for them.
Yeah, well, that's how we hire them. So, man, God, what a day. What time is it? I can't wait to go back to sleep, Hammer. I'm not tired yet, which is really starting to piss me off.
It's an unusual time for you to be on the show. You're usually up 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning doing Monkey in the Morning.
Well, I gave my voice the night off, and I played some video games. I ended up staying up way too late.
What were you playing? 7 Days Will Die or something?
No, I was playing Railway Empire last night. I think it's the name of it. Make sure I have the name right. I used to play Railroad Tycoon 1 and 2. Loved them. Fucking great games. And this one is not exactly like them, but it's similar enough that it was fun to play. So I was playing that for a few hours, and I was like, oh, crap, I need to go to bed. Went to bed about 5:30-ish. And I wasn't sleeping well to begin with. I'd woke up several times, and then I had that dream about Little Butt being scared. And it was something that I had done that had scared her.
Oh. And
as I'm coming out of it, in my dream, I'm comforting her, but it was enough to fuck me up. So I was like, yeah, I can't sleep anymore. And yeah, Railway Empire. If you liked Railroad Tycoon, it is not the same. Don't expect the same. Stan says he liked Railroad Tycoon. It's I think I'm gonna get bored with this one quick because it's a little too simplistic. That I like some of the other settings on the older games, but if you like trains, it's fun.
I'm still stuck really hard on Heroes of the Storm. I'm just having too much fun because I've been playing enough now that I've actually gotten good with some of the characters. Because you got like 30 or 40 characters to choose from.
Sure.
But you and I have been WoW players forever, and to actually be able to play Sylvanas, you are actually playing her, and it's the same voice actress from the
game.
not only the game but the they do those intros to a new whenever they're coming out with a new update. They usually have some kind of cinematic or something like that, and you often hear that same actress there as well. It's the same actress in the actual game too. So to hear her say things like, I know that voice, you know, it's just like, and she says those certain key phrases that Sylvanas would say in WoW, you know, for the Forsaken, and she's the Forsaken. I mean, not only is it a great game to play, but it tugs on my heart a little bit. For my days playing WoW, it's kind of like, yeah, that's Sylvanas. I like her, you know. So
I'm all over the place with my games these days. Me and Satsu were playing Green Hill together. We should be finishing that up tonight. I've been playing 7 Days to Die because I love that game on my channel. And I've been playing several different things in the background, and several people bought me games for my birthday that I got to download and test out too. I say test out because they may end up on the show on the game channel, but
all your games are all first person, aren't they?
Not all of them, no. I played Tropico, which, by the way, is probably the most popular game I ever played on my channel, and I only played like 6 episodes of it. But no, it's not first person. That's isometric. I like all kinds of games, and like the railroad one. That's definitely not first person. It can be. You can jump in the train and ride the rails for a little bit, but yeah. New Fate. That is a nice picture. It's not one I can show on screen though. And I still haven't figured out why I can't see in the hashtag the pictures you guys send. I still haven't been able to fix that. So I'll see what I can do in that regard. The other thing I wanted to talk about, I remembered here, is that apparently there's a fake Bernie ad going around. I haven't been able to actually catch it.
I haven't seen it either.
But apparently if you post it on Twitter, you are immediately banished until you take it down.
Wow.
Yeah. And I saw this from June last night. She was posting about it. Oh, we need to talk about Whore Girl too.
She blocked me, June.
Oh, that's not who I'm calling Whore Girl, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
Is that Invader V?
Yeah, Invader V is Whore Girl. So here's June's tweet about this. And I'm not real certain exactly what it is, but it's something like I don't even understand it exactly, but it's got the tagline, his brain know his heart. So I don't see what's so horrible about it, even if it is a fake ad. But apparently it's that you're getting immediately smacked for posting a fake ad. I'm like, oh. Yeah, nuts. I got to it before it got up there. I beat you. But it's weird to me that is that they're that tyrannical about it. Where I mean, you can put some pretty horrible by their own thing. You can take and cut up what somebody says, I guess, as long as you don't pretend it's a political ad.
You stayed up front. This is just a.
Well, no, you don't even have to state up front. You can take something completely out of context. You could take Joe Biden and put his words together from a single clip to where it says, I like touching children. You could. And according to Twitter rules, that's fine. But if you put paid for by Joe Biden at the end of it, that makes it bad, apparently.
Because it sounds official.
Does it? I mean, does it? I feel like it doesn't feel official. I think they're going a little overboard with this. And this is what I talked about the whole time during the Russia investigation. Because the Russia investigation, you know what it told me, Hammer? It didn't tell me that the Russians were investigating this. It told me that they were going to try to use social media to influence this election. And here's why. At the beginning of all that, what was the first thing they did? They drug up the head of Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and Google itself in front of Congress to tell them how influential their ads were, how influential things on their platform were. And all I kept hearing was, we made things happen. We made things happen. We made things happen. And so what happens then? Like, oh, well, there was all this fake news about other people. So what do? Oh, you start cutting these ads that, well, Donald Trump said something too mean about Biden. That Nancy Pelosi ad, that was fucking brilliant.
I don't like the assumption that the American people are stupid. Because if you see an ad, a fake news ad, that you can't figure out, oh, well, that's fake news.
The American people are stupid.
I don't
and
really
it's
think
their
we're
right
that
to
bad.
be so. And
Well, yeah, that's true.
you can't save them from themselves. This is what we get into with the nonsense that comes from the mainstream media. What was that bitch? The bitch that's on with Joe Scarborough, his wife, I believe it's his wife now, where she said something to the effect of like, Donald Trump's trying to tell people what to think, and that's our job. Does anybody have that clip? I don't have it
Wow.
already. Yeah,
Wow.
she actually says something to that effect. and like, oh my, that's whew.
Very true.
Mika, yeah, there you go. Yeah, but she actually, that's our job. Like, what? Let me see if I can pull that up on YouTube. You got to see the fucking clip, man. It's like, are you insane? Did you really just say that?
I believe it though.
Without hesitation.
That's how
let's see.
CNN sees themselves. And that's why they don't like Donald talking directly to the people. Because it's their job to tell you what to think.
Okay, here it is. And Gep, I see you in the audience, bud. It's been a while since we talked. Do you want to come hang out? Is this the one? Yes, it is. Okay. I had to make sure I had the right one. Oh, let me blow that up so it's nice and big. Here we go.
Exactly what I hear. What Yamiche just said is what I hear from all the Trump supporters that I talk to who were Trump voters and are still Trump supporters. They go, yeah, you guys are going crazy. He's doing, what are you so surprised about? He's doing exactly what he said he's going to do.
Well, and I think that the dangerous, edges here are that he's trying to undermine the media, trying to make up his own facts. And it could be that while unemployment and the economy worsens, he could have undermined the messaging so much that he can actually control exactly what people think. And that is our job.
Yeah, if you look at the...
Did you hear that?
Wow.
Did you hear that?
He can control what people think, but that's our job.
Our job.
Wow.
Control what... Yeah. That's what your media thinks of you guys.
And that's MSNBC. That wasn't even CNN.
Yeah, that's Scarborough's Morning Joe. Morning Joe. I didn't see Skep's answer if he did answer, so I'm just going to throw him a link because I can't pay attention to two things at once.
He said flip him the link.
Shit, I got to find it.
That actually works out perfect because my nurse just showed up, so I have to skedaddle early.
It was good talking with you, man.
You too, Monkey. It's always fun talking with you.
I always enjoy it. Before you leave, well, even after you leave, I'm going to throw your link into the chat for guys. For the guys. Follow him over on the Twitter, guys.
Twitter.
He's not quite as obnoxious as I am, but you're too nice. I mean, you're a nice guy about it.
Yeah, I know. I got to stop doing that. That's terrible.
All right, man.
All right, I'll
take
talk
care,
to you, Monkey. You too.
See you, bud. All right, yeah. So that's what the media thinks of you guys. It's their job to tell you what to think, to frame that narrative in your head, and that's what I was talking about with this Russia thing. That's just what I kept hearing. It's going to be the social media company's job to tell you what to think. And is that what can I throw that link up? Yeah, I can't. Give me just a second here. I got to get the video back up. Let me go to my history, though, because it's easy to do it that way. Here you go. Paste. There you go. But yeah, she got in some trouble for that. And she's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to tell you guys that we're here to tell you what to think. Because that would be a dick thing to do. Pink Owl says, yeah, but nobody can piss in Claudia's Cheerios like Hammer can. That's true. That's true. He spends a good part of his day pissing her off. Oh, man. There was something else I was going to talk about, and I got distracted by Mika. Is that her name? Mika? Fucking idiot. I'm trying to remind myself, guys. When I lose something like that, I scroll through my Twitter real quick to see if I can find what it was I was trying to talk about and lost. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And then I have to sit here and pretend that I'm smarter than I am. I'm not really that bright. That's just fact. Still brighter than Mika and Joe. All right. By the way, Skep, I did send you the link, bud. What is this? Oh, Oh yeah, that's the argument I was having earlier. Skeptalk, my friend, you're a Borg now.
Good to see you, man.
How you been? Oh, you're kind of quiet, bud.
Oh, hang on one sec. Let me get this a little bit closer. Here I am. Let me get this. Am I still too quiet, by the way?
No, you sound good right now.
Okay, good. Let me get the watch page muted, and we are set to go. All right. Yeah, how about that Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski? Are we still talking about that? I had to run across the room and get my mic.
No, you're fine. I'm curious about your thoughts on this, because I've said before that I think what we saw with the Russian investigation was basically this: is that they want social media companies to do exactly what Mika was just saying, and that they're going to use that and be like, oh no, you can't have pro Donald Trump stuff because that's thinking incorrectly. Now you can have all kinds of curated bullshit. Make no mistake, guys, when you look at your trending list over there on the Twitter, that is curated bullshit. Like, you can often tell because of occasionally they forget to take the number of likes out of it.
Yes.
But you can have all kinds of lies about Trump over there. But hey, don't lie about anybody else. Don't even tell the truth about him, to be honest.
No, that's absolutely right. It's so blatant at times that it's appalling. That it's really an interesting study in sub-optimization. I mean, you study this stuff in graduate school, and sub-optimization is supposed to result in market-driven changes and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And then you're supposed to see a change in consumer choice, and theoretically, Parler is supposed to topple Twitter and take over because Twitter is just so completely dishonest. And social media is supposed to evolve that way because honesty is the best policy, and the market just wants clarity as opposed to being told what it's supposed to think. But in point of fact, there are tiny little pockets of market failure that occur inside there that can be enforced by dishonesty from within, by kind of the man behind the curtain, Oz, making something look bigger than what it really is, making something look more important or more significant than what it is, or making something seem less significant than what it is. And that's really that's the sin that Twitter commits almost every day. And with its trending page.
Gamer Vleen, thank you. Or they just let Nancy beg for donations, right? Yeah. Exactly. I just want to show you guys. I'm not full of shit here. Look at this. Number 3, don't drink bleach. 1,400 likes. Or sorry, 14,000 likes. Inject disinfectant. 7,000. Oh, sorry, these are tweets. And then Friday feeling, 39,000. And it is the lowest of those 3.
Goodness.
Now, some of that is because like Friday feeling is one that comes weekly.
Right.
But that's been up there for a while today. And usually it'll move up higher than that. But I mean, even the first 2 I showed, I mean, they're so full of shit. So full of shit.
Yeah. Friday feeling, the position of Friday feeling in importance is a function of, in my opinion, just my opinion, is whether or not there's something more important going on. If there's something of overwhelming importance, Friday feeling can even
drops way to fuck off.
Yeah, exactly. Friday feeling, you can't forget about it. If Alex Trebek died, Friday feeling would vanish.
Yep.
And it would be all about the Jeopardy. But but at any rate, getting back to this whole thing, what this all is about is ways to influence large chunks of people to put people in charge of where the money goes. That's really what all this is about. What everything that, propping up Joe Biden to run his, shabby little campaign that he's not going to last through a presidency. Everybody knows that. He's going to be 25th Amendment out within the first year of his presidency. He simply is not going to be up to the task, and he's going to come on, it's with a heavy heart. I address the American people tonight and announce my inability to continue to administer, and I'm going to have to turn over my administration to my vice president, Michelle Obama, and away we go, or whoever he has. I would really be paying attention to whoever he picks as the vice president. I don't mean to run away with the topic here, but I think it's I think that's actually one of the most interesting things that we can be talking about right now is who Biden picks, because I also think that we're calling it the Dos Equis virus or whatever has knocked the presidential election into a cocked hat. The media has used this to just assail President Trump, and his numbers are not looking great. It's looking like just a real horse race, and he actually could lose the election to a glass of water with a D next to it.
Yeah.
And that glass of water might be Joe Biden.
I think Joe
Biden is Michelle Obama is his vice president, because he's doing too well with blacks. He doesn't need help with blacks.
Michelle Obama has never shown any real interest in major politics. She was happy to do little things, while her husband was in power, but
right. Well, she doesn't help him where he needs help.
Michelle. You have more of a chance of her ending up with an Oprah show than you do as her as president.
That's absolutely I think you're right on the money there.
I think. Well, see, I do think you're wrong though, in that Biden does need help with blacks. Because people, let me hear me out. People didn't think Hillary needed help with blacks, and if you look at the breakdown of how blacks voted in 2016, she absolutely didn't need help with blacks.
Well, she needed help with
turnout, yes, and Biden will need help with turnout. That's why
you might be right.
So he doesn't need huge help; he just needs a little bit.
I think he needs help with disaffected Bernie turnout, and some of those people are dark skinned. That's a good point.
I think if he goes with like a Warren, we read, I forget where we read that the other day, but yeah, the best choice for Biden is Warren. Like, you're just a Warren voter who hope he dies. Stop it.
Yeah, really.
Stop it.
That would be. I think that would be a disaster. Well, that would be great news for Trump, because that is almost certain doom for Biden. I don't think she helps him at all. Maybe a tiny bit with. See, Biden doesn't need help with the loyal Democratic base. Biden needs somebody to get the disaffected, pissed off Bernie socialist voters to have some hope again. And those people are hopeless. If you turn on a show like The Hill and listen to Crystal Ball and Sager and Jetty and some of those people, listen to what they have to say. Listen to what is in their heart. And they're not just mad. They're sad. They're broken. And they're just like, you know what? Fuck him. Excuse my French, but just screw him. We loved Bernie with all our hearts and soul, and screw Biden. We'll let him twist in the wind. Half of us are going to vote green, and the rest of us are going to drink beer and fuck Biden. Let Trump win. You know,
I
we'll
get
just
you.
watch it burn.
I just don't think Bernie supporters are that influential. Those kind of the Bernie or die guys.
No, but they're numerous. That's the thing. And it's easy to not do anything, Monkey. It's easy to not do anything.
It's also easy to sit back and go, I'm going to let Trump win, and then when it actually comes to Trump winning, going, no, I'm actually going to vote for Biden. I think a lot of Bernie bros, you do have a lot of young ones who have no loyalty to the party.
Yeah.
You also have a lot of older ones who, they'll stay loyal to the party till the bitter end. I think a much bigger problem for Bernie is, the black vote, for Biden is the black vote. We already saw
because his numbers don't say he has a problem with the black vote. But turnout.
Here's the thing: it's not even that though. Trump's numbers with blacks are coming up.
Yeah,
this was something that scared the shit out of Democrats about 8 months ago. Is polls started coming out and like, wait a minute, black people like Trump, and it doesn't take much for that swing. What was it? He got 6% of black vote in 16. I think.
Don't get me the line. I'll check that number for you. I
want to say it's 6. If he gets that to 10, holy shit, that's enough to swing the election. Unless you're talking about, let's say, all of them only come from one state. All of them only come from Florida. Okay, but if he picks up an average of 10 or 4 points, and he does that in Michigan and DC and Florida, all of these places, Baltimore.
He was 6%.
Yes. Hey, I remember
2016. You're right. You're absolutely
right. Check that out. I'm smart.
You badass.
I remembered one fucking number. Let's not go that far. No, so if they get a swing, because there were some articles that were talking upward of 15%. Like, I don't believe that, but I could see 10. And that would be a real pain for Biden. That would make Biden almost unelectable. You look at the Hispanic numbers. What was that? 32, 36%, somewhere around there?
That he took. No, he had 28%.
28. Okay. So if he maintains that or even improves on that, I don't think a lot of people are going to blame Trump for the economy. I think Democrats are hoping on that. Democrats have one thing in their favor right now, and it is that nobody is paying attention to the election. But we are still quite a ways out from November. Once people turn back to the election, I don't think Trump is going to get the blame for the economy. They're trying to do that. They're trying to do that by when you guys make no mistake, when they're saying that Trump has caused all of this, they're not saying he killed people.
Yeah.
That's a side mark. Thank you, Cynical Lindsay, who says happy belated birthday. Thank you very much. The main point they want to make there with Trump owns this virus is with him taking so long to get everything done, any financial repercussion is going to be his fault.
Well, yeah, it happened on your watch type of a thing.
Sort of.
All right, look, I don't mean to distract. When was your birthday?
22nd.
22nd of March?
This year, or this month. This year. Yes, this year. No, just a couple of days ago.
Wow, excellent. I actually have a birthday coming up on the 27th.
Oh, wow.
It's actually my sobriety birthday. I will be 16 years sober in AA.
Congrats, man.
Thank you very much. Anyway, so we share.
Now he does heroin, you guys.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't drink. He just shoots.
No. Go big or go home.
That's right.
Anyway, getting back to this, going back up to 50,000 feet, I think that the election is going to be a horse race. I think it's going to be very close. The Democrats have managed to, all they had to do was not be crazy. All they had to do was not be insane. and they managed to make it close. They said, we're going to pick a guy who's senile, doddering, and kind of has semi-pedophilic, weird, creepy tendencies. Let's pick that guy.
Yeah.
Because we can. Because
look, many of us have pointed out the Democrats probably would have won in 2016 if it had been anybody but Hillary. With the exception, let me put a caveat in there. Or Bernie.
Yeah.
Anybody thought, no, Bernie would have beat Trump. No, he wouldn't have. Stop it.
And that's it. No, but you're right. Bernie has been one of their biggest problems. He has been kind of their Ross Perot, basically. He's peeled off a big chunk of idealistic and somewhat naive part of their party and kept them from having the reality check they badly needed to, hey, if you believe in big government, you believe government ought to have a big role. I love the idea of a healthy left and a healthy right in America having we're going to have a barking festival. I'm sorry. No, don't do that. A healthy left and a healthy right in the United States and having it out. That's the American way. That's what we're supposed to do. What I don't think is healthy is when one personality. God dang it. I'm sorry about this monkey. The fucking psychotic dachshund on the Federal Express.
Oh, gotcha.
Why? Talk for a second. I'll fix this. Hang on.
Sure. We're gonna just mute that for a second too. Dogs. See, you never have to worry about your cat doing that. There we go. He's taking care of the doggos. I want to wait for him to get back because I want to. He said that the Bernie's kind of been their Ross Perot, and here's the difference. Here's a big difference. When it comes to Ross Perot, if you go back to the 1990s, this is the 92 election specifically. It wasn't insane for somebody to come out and preach fiscal responsibility. It had been something the Republicans have been preaching, if not actually doing, since at least 80. Possibly before. That's a little bit before my time. I'm not as familiar with the stuff before that. However,
sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're fine. I was just explaining where I disagree with you a little bit.
Okay.
Because you said he's kind of like their Ross Perot. And you're right in peeling off votes.
That's all I meant.
Yeah. But there's a big difference with Bernie. Bernie also, well, one, not only did he never leave the party and Perot was never in it, Bernie did something Democrats don't want. They don't want you to ever put them with socialism. They've been fighting that label for decades. Tooth and nail. Oh, no, we're not socialists. And here comes Bernie going, I'm a democratic socialist. And people, no, we cannot have that as part of our party brand. It doesn't work in the general election. It doesn't work with corporate interest. And believe it or not, guys, there is a shit ton of liberal corporate interest. Thank you, Blind Press. Hello, you too. Much love from the blind one. I'd love you back, sweetie. Hope you're well.
Hey, blinds.
And thank you. Bernie has been a thorn in their side, and he's given rise to some stuff they're going to be dealing with for decades. Ocasio-Cortez, for instance. Yeah. She's such a star. Yeah, in that little pond. Yeah. In the big ocean, no, she's not. She might be able to run for a Senate seat and win that. On a national stage, I don't see her winning because of the same things that keep Bernie down. And this is why Bernie would not have won in 2016. But I think the Democrats, they had a chance here. They really did. They really did. People were begging, like, give me a reason to vote for anybody but Trump. Give me a reason.
They just had to not be crazy.
And yeah, they went with crazy and kind of creepy.
Yeah, exactly. And They've made it a horse race. It's going to be interesting. And aren't you looking forward to the convention? See,
if they even have it.
Well, I think they're definitely going to have it. Here's why. The Republican and Democratic parties are not real. There are laws pertaining to nonprofit entities, but they are not. They are private. They are private associations. They are not things that come from the Constitution. They are just like they're like clubs basically, and those clubs can get together and say, "This is the guy we want to run." They can get together and choose anybody in the country who's eligible to serve as president, and nominate that person to fill out the forms and run for president and vice president who they want to.
Are they even a nonprofit?
I think technically they are a nonprofit. Yes, they are not a for-profit corporation with issuing shares and having equity accounts and stuff like that. Yes, they are in a some sort of club with a charter type of thing. I don't think they're a partnership or a sole proprietorship either. So for liability purposes, they would probably be a nonprofit. I would have to look that up to get an exact readout of.
Yeah, I'm trying to look because
they're basically like a club.
Well, they basically are. Yeah, there was actually a lawsuit against them where the Supreme Court came out and said they can do whatever they want to do.
Right.
They're a private organization.
Exactly.
So I wasn't sure if they were actually. I'm not sure they're They might be not for profit.
They are not for profit. Definitely, they are not in the business of producing a profit and investing in other things. But here's where I'm going with this. They can get together and pick whoever they want to serve as their nominee. It wouldn't surprise me if they got together and picked someone else. If they did do that, and what I'm thinking might cause this to happen would be between now and then a significant physical event happening to Biden.
Hello? Uh-oh. Did you mute yourself? Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Now I can. You muted there for a second.
Understand what happened, but all of a sudden the mute thing on Streamlabs came on, and
Skip, unplug your mic, plug it back in. You're coming through with a very deep voice. It happens to me when my mic goes funky. I got to unplug it and plug it back in. Deep voice, Skep. Yeah. I only recognize that because it happens to me when I go through here. Yeah. I forget what he's talking about. I was
doing the Barry White thing. Is this better?
There you go. Now you're better.
God, this was plaguing me last night. I updated a bunch of stuff in my operating system. I must have stepped on the drivers. I'm going to have to re-update my drivers. I'm so sorry about this, Mikey. I hate
fine.
This kind of stuff. Anyway, so what may happen if something physical happens to Biden and makes it impossible for him to run as a candidate, physically impossible for him to run as a candidate, who do you think that they are likely to draft?
Well, one, I think they would keep him in a whole weekend at Bernie's kind of thing. But
no, I mean, he's in the hospital in a coma, dying. Who do they pick? I think that's a very interesting question.
No, you know who they'll pick? They'll pick whoever he decides is his vice president. Because right now he's in the process of vetting his vice president. So whoever that turns out to be, that'll be the nominee.
Who do you think he's going to pick for his vice president?
I honestly don't know. I don't see an advantage to him with any of the names that have been thrown out there. Thank you. This is Kyle who says, hello, chat people, Skep and Monkey. Hello, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There's been talk of Abrams. She's a loser. There's no reason to bring her on. You don't want her as your presidential candidate either.
It's an anchor around your neck.
Harris is going to hurt you with black people.
No, the angry attorney general. Thank you very much.
Whitmer is a moron.
She's a crazy lady.
The cripple Asian chick, nobody knows her.
Yeah, no, Duckworth is she's actually pretty good people, truth be told. And I disagree with her on almost everything, but her heart's in the right place a lot of times.
The let's see, the lesbian who looks like Warren, nobody's heard of. Warren, she comes with her own baggage, and you don't want that going against Trump if something does happen to Biden. They don't want Bernie because obvious reasons. Biden has already said it's going to be a woman, so it can't be somebody like Buttigieg. Klobuchar is just too white. I don't know. I don't know who they're going to pull. The only one I've heard, what's her name? Denning, is that her name? The one down in Florida.
Yeah, that's who I was trying to think of. I was trying to think of her name.
I can't remember her name, and I know it starts with a D.
Is it Deming? Deming, something like that?
Something like that.
Chatbot.
She's in the she was on the impeachment team, and I don't think you really want that either. And you're not gonna take Florida with a House member when the president lives there. If you look at it old school, like, oh, we got to go with the state, we might have trouble. And you're not going to do that. You're not going to pull Florida from Trump, especially down there in Florida. All they got to do is run Gilliam ads now.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't know who they have. All the stuff talking about Andrew Cuomo, I think, is crazy. I don't think there's a way in the world that he's going to run.
I think Cuomo will probably not want to run the same way his dad never wanted to run. It never made much sense why Mario Cuomo, who was so well loved within the party, never ran for president, other than the media gets a little bit more scrutinous when you run for president.
I knew someone who knew Mario Cuomo pretty well. My best friend's father was the commissioner of the New York State Lottery.
Oh, okay.
And now when I say best friend, I mean this is my lifetime best friend. This is a guy. He and I were best friends in high school. We've stayed close throughout the years. I got to meet Mario Cuomo through the family. Got to shake hands with him in Albany and all that kind of stuff. Meeting, grip and grin, for 10 minutes in the there. And he's a very warm man, and he loved to be loved. That was really important to him, to be loved by by people. And he really was stung by criticism. That was something that my friend's dad told me about. It hurt him. It cut him to read stuff that was deeply critical of him, and he read that stuff all the time. It really had an effect on him. It enraged him and hurt him, made him sad.
Faithless ass skeletons in the closet. That's what I'm hinting at. And Skep, it sounds like you're hitting your mic or something, bud.
Oh, I'm sorry. The stand is coming off.
Oh,
God damn it!
You're fine, but
I'm like the gang who can't shoot straight today.
These things happen.
I'm just, I'm old. I'm almost dead. You won't have to put up with it much longer.
How dare you, sir?
I know.
You're not even close to Biden's age. Stop it.
I know. And
you can be president still.
God, can you imagine a fate worse than death? Every moment of your life scripted. Here's your schedule for today. Get cracking.
I'd come out in a banana hammock and a t-shirt. Like, what do y'all want to talk about today?
Oh man,
I'd have the best press briefings ever. I'd have my press briefings in my briefs. They'd be like, "This isn't traditional." I'm like, shut up. I'm not the old guy. Anyway,
the goat fuckers from Albania are at 8:30, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fuck them. Put them back. Tell them we're having some bacon for lunch. But to what was asked earlier, skeletons in the closet. There was a lot of talk about possible mob connections with Mario. There was a lot of talk of union contracts and things that this smoke fire. I don't know, but it was really weird. He could have won the nomination with ease, and it was the '92 election where everybody was waiting. Everybody was waiting. Nobody was getting any money until Mario finally said whether he was going or not. And it pissed off a lot of Democrats.
Yeah.
They were not happy with his ass. I don't know if
he was not mobbed up, by the way. And there were politicians that were mobbed up. And I'm not saying that just because he was my friend's friend.
You say that because you met him.
No. That's not true. I would say that the people who supplied him with money were decently cut out. They were cutaways, and people who protect people like Mario Cuomo made sure he was protected from that sort of thing, and that's done on purpose, to protect him. It's not that he was innocent or anything like that. It's just that guys like that can't afford to touch up against the tainted stuff.
Somebody asked me a little while ago. Sorry, I meant to mention it then. No, I did see Whitmer had extended the stay at home because she's a twat.
Has she extended the ban to food and water now?
Probably.
What an asshole.
Nobody can have air until the 15th.
Seeds? Really? Seeds?
Well, there was a reason for that. I hate giving her any credit. The reason for doing that is not because of seeds. It's actually because this is the time that people flock to garden centers.
Okay.
And so what you do is you're like, okay, if you can't buy this stuff right now, then there's no reason to make a special trip to go out and buy this stuff and have garden centers be overwhelmed. Now, the fact that she had also put in place the number of people that can be in a store should have taken care of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was to slow traffic in these stores, which is fucking stupid when everybody's going out to buy stuff anyway, you dumb bitch. She's a moron. My fucking governor's an idiot. She's an idiot.
Yeah. You get an argument from me. She sounds like a megalomaniac with an egocentric jerk.
Oh God, if you watched her post State of the Union reply,
yeah,
you can just see it. She comes off as an absolute moron. Thank you, Kaz Eve, who says, Skep, you have 59 years left on your friend contract. Don't play with me.
Love you, Evie.
Thank you. Yeah, there's I'm mean to a lot of politicians, but she is a bubblehead.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that other bubblehead. So California has an election coming up, Skep. On the 12th. There's a special election to replace Katie Hill. For those of you who don't know Katie Hill.
Oh, yes.
Katie Hill had to step down from her seat. She didn't have to. She decided to step down from her seat in the 25th district out there in California because pictures came out with her nakedly brushing an aide's hair, and it came out that she was part of a throuple with one of her campaign aides. And there was also a picture of her with a bong in the shower, which is a really weird place to smoke a bong. But there's also allegations that she was banging one of her congressional staff, which is against the rules. She'd had a slap on the hand if it turned out to be true, but she decided to step down and then made this big deal about how she was forced out, and she started this foundation or some silly shit to stop women who are the victims of revenge porn. It's not revenge porn. your bullshit leaked out. She blamed her husband for this, even though she had no proof.
What was the name of the foundation? Own Goal?
I don't know.
That's the joke. Own Goal. Anyway.
I don't know if it actually is a foundation. I know she had a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
That's all I know about it.
Jeez.
And it was to help these poor women who licked their staffer's puss and get in trouble for it. So anyway, she stepped down, and the main part, it's kind of like a primary, but not exactly a primary that they had in California. Came down to Miss Christy Smith and Mr. Mike Rodriguez, I think is his name. Whoever he is, he was the one, if I remember correctly, lost to Hill in the 2018 election.
Yes, that's what I remember also.
Well, Miss Christie, she made a tweet yesterday. It made my fucking head hurt. I'm going to talk about it for a minute. Because she said this: grateful and honored to have earned the endorsement of the Congressional Black Caucus PAC and eager to work together in D.C. to lift up and empower African Americans and other marginalized communities to have an equal voice and opportunities to achieve the American dream. Now, Miss Christy Smith, I'm going to put her link into chat so you guys can check this out. I don't want you to take my word for it. She is one of the whitest bitches on the planet. She's going to go to Congress. She's going to lift up and empower African Americans. One of her opponents in the race was a black guy. So once again, we have an example of white women coming to the rescue of people who just can't do it themselves. If you really believed in empowering and uplifting and giving them their voice and all that, you would have stepped out of the race. This is the stupid nonsense these fuckers push. Like, we got to uplift the Negroes. Well, why don't you let that one have your job? No. I can do it better than the Negro.
She doesn't look that black.
No, that's a white bitch.
That's like translucent white. You can see the blue veins coming through the white skin.
That's mayo with sour cream in it.
The blonde hair is real. That's the carpets match the drapes.
Yeah, that's a white bitch.
Yeah, for real.
And look, there's nothing wrong with being white. There's nothing wrong with being white. I have no problem saying that.
Yep.
But when you're lift up and empower African Americans, bitch, you literally took a job from one. If you actually believe that shit, you wouldn't. As soon as he entered the race, you would have dropped out. But you don't actually believe that shit. That's nonsense you tell to minorities so you sound good while just still being your normal self. There's nothing wrong with saying, I'd like to go to Congress and look at things, but I'm going to uplift and empower the Negroes. Are you, white girl? Because I don't think you really are. And I do find it strange that you didn't drop out of the race. I loved Satsu's response to this. He says, "Indeed, I'm sure you'll do a much better job than that Negro you ran against." That makes me smile.
Real Donald Trump fanboys still think simply posing macho wins elections like Mike Garcia versus Smart Christie for California 25 and Red to Blue 25th Congressional District Special Election May 12th with mail-in ballots.
Oh,
wow.
Mike Garcia, not Rodriguez. My bad. I knew it was something
Mike Garcia.
Mexican.
Yeah. I was thinking Rodriguez wasn't quite right. It's Mike Garcia's.
I knew it was something like that. Because I looked at him too. I'm like, you're not going to let this POC have the job either, are you?
My goodness.
Gamer Valine, thank you. Her biggest accomplishment so far was being head varsity cheerleader. Also, you aren't mean. You better pump that mean up right now. You're boot mean. Her big, This bitch, she's getting a lot of pushback because she voted to during the Great Recession. She was on a school board and she voted to let some teachers go.
Mm-hmm.
And this has come out about her, and she's fighting back because everybody on the board voted to let people go. You know what else they did?
Yeah.
They also voted to give themselves a raise during it.
Yeah.
Around the same time they let these people go, they voted themselves a raise. It's not that you voted to let them go. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes, sometimes it's what has to be done in a company or if you're running a municipality kind of thing. This stuff has to happen. You don't give yourself a raise in the process. Unless you're white girl here.
Yeah, white girl. Christy Smith faces Trump superfan in May 12th special election. Trump super. This isn't a Los Angeles quote unquote newspaper.
She couldn't be whiter if her name was Becky.
She looks like Becky.
She looks like Becky. She really does.
You just say Becky, and she also looks like the former congresswoman from that district. If you look at them side by side, seriously, they can be sisters. Even their hair is cut the same way. It's the same shade of blonde, and it's cut the same way, at least to, a guy, because guys, very blonde hair.
Yeah, she could be Katie. Yeah, she actually could be. I wonder if she's licked any of her staffers, because I'd like to see the video.
I wouldn't mind myself. I mean, just, at this point, it's mostly an academic interest. But, yeah. And there she is in her mask at the California Assembly, social distancing, doing her duty. She just looks like, an obnoxious, appalling human being, just perfect for the Dems.
She looks like somebody I could annoy if she wasn't running for office. See, guys, I can annoy the shit out of her, and there's nothing she can do about it right now.
At least while the First Amendment is.
Yeah, she'd have to wait until she was either out of the running or out of office. That's the great thing about our USA democracy republic thingy we got going on here.
Public figures don't.
You can fuck with any of these people. You can fuck with any of these people almost as much as you want to. You got to be careful. You can't make direct threats or anything about that. But you can call them shitbags all day long.
Absolutely, call them an asshole.
Actually, call them shitbags. I do it all the time.
It's great fun. It
is. We had that one because it wasn't just the Trump thing. We had a mayor that got sued for this, and because of the existing ruling with the president, that the people who sued against them won.
Mm-hmm.
Ocasio-Cortez, she was about to get sued, and she finally backed down.
Yeah. Well, it's a sobering thought. You can't do this in Britain.
No, you can't.
You can't do this in Germany. You can't do this in Belgium or France. I mean, they will put your ass in jail.
Yep.
In jail. I just never thought I would see the day. I thought we had discovered that was precious, that was worth preserving at all costs. And the
ruling itself, I actually disagree with because it's stupid. The ruling itself comes down to the fact, oh no, this is a public square. It's not. It's not. If it's a public square, then all free speech rules should apply. But they only apply it to elected officials. And the people we're talking about, they were being absolutely horrid to Donald Trump. Absolutely horrid. And he blocked them.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, that's my free speech right to tell the president he's a shithead. Is it? No, it's not. Especially not on Twitter. So if they're going to go with the public square argument, then they need to make it just flat out public square. It's free speech protected.
Which I'm down with. I'm good. I'm sort of a free speech absolutist. You have to show me pretty direct harm.
I'm against censorship. I'm against any kind of curtailing speech unless there's an actual criminal act there. Literal inciting violence, not you just made people mad. That's going to make them go be violent. No.
Yeah.
Actually inciting violence.
So if someone says you made me feel unsafe, that is violence. Okay. And you also demand proof instead of, no, you can't make me perform your trauma. You say bullshit. You call bullshit on that.
Somebody's saying you made me feel unsafe with your words. Did I threaten you? No. Did I tell somebody to hurt you? No. Then go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. But when it comes, these still are private companies, and I don't like that they censor. I wish they'd come out and go, no, we're not going to censor, but it's a private company. Until, the courts start deciding it's a public square, in which case, excuse me, I have questions. I have questions on how you can limit my voice in a public square because it's a private company. Those two things don't go together.
Okay. One of the things that Twitter uses is they use a communication highway that is used by the public.
Sure.
And since they have an obligation to be open because they use that public part of the highway. In other words, if they had their own wire and were completely wired and were a private network, yes, then it would be fine for them to censor. But since they use public airwaves, they use a finite resource, they consume a finite resource, and in so doing, deprive the rest of the public by their consumption of their private resource. Do they not have an obligation to conform to the law that everyone else must conform to?
Well, not legally.
No, I'm saying morally, do they not?
No.
Can you not see a basis for
I see what you're arguing there. The problem with it is that they have a spot on the net and they let people use that spot. The traffic that comes to and from them isn't them doing it. You have to go to it. Comparing it directly to like a highway is not exactly the same, because a private road,
you're saying they're more like a node on a highway. I see what you're saying.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
hey, look, believe me, I'm on the free speech side of it, but we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm just trying to argue the free speech side, and I'm looking for a way to argue that. But I actually, I see the weakness in.
Yeah, because
I talk through these things. That's how I get there.
No, I appreciate the thought experiment.
Okay, so I end up time and time again. I end up coming down that it's Jack's company. Jack gets to do what he wants.
Yep.
What we should do is vote with our feet and go over to Parler or whatever. The problem with that, of course, is the market failures that I was talking about earlier.
Well,
it's hard to make that happen.
The one part that does, where I do come down with you on this, is as long as the courts are saying that Donald Trump can't block people, then they shouldn't be allowed to block anybody, because they use the public square argument. They use the free speech argument. I have a free speech to say what I want to the president in a public square. If that's a public square, then it's a public square for all of us, period. Now, and therefore, nobody can block anybody, and Twitter can't kick me off. As for the competitors not being able to compete, stop making shitty services.
Well,
there was a time when MySpace was the biggest social media spot out there.
Fair.
Stop making every time I go to one of these alternate, you know why I don't use them? It's not because nobody else is using me. It's because they're shit.
Yeah, because the interface is
garbage.
Because mine's is weird and doesn't do what I want it to do, and the search thing doesn't work like it's supposed to.
Kingslayer Damocles, thank you. If they were a publisher, I'd agree with you. On which part? Which one of us? Both of us, and that they're not seen as a publisher because of the Section 230. And Section 230 specifically gives them protections. Not again. See, people get this wrong. Do you know what the protections in 230 do?
No, I don't actually.
The protections in 230 protect them from somebody coming at them for censoring. It guarantees them the ability to censor you for whatever reason they decide to. And actually, I don't like Section 230 because it even said, even if it is normally constitutional. Like, I'm sorry, excuse me, what?
No provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information provided by another information content provider. So basically, it's a get out of jail free thing for the provider of the interactive.
That says they can't be sued if I called you a dick on Twitter.
Right. It means that Twitter can't be sued.
Yep. But read down. I think it's Section C. Believe me, I've read 230 a lot.
Click here.
Section 230 also protects them from legal responsibility for what their users post. Exactly, yeah. And the reason that it's not the same with a publisher, and this is the distinction, guys. When the New York Times decides to post an editorial, or they decide to post an op-ed, or even just a random viewer or a reader mail, they make the decision what goes in there. Twitter can't possibly go through all of our posts. They just can't. So to hold them liable for something I said would be ridiculous. The only way to get around that would be to completely curate it, which would be to completely kill the platform. Gamer Blaine, thank you. Supposedly that was already a ruling that Crowder used with Talib. If it's true, that might explain why YouTube isn't profitable. Line the judge's pockets to censor after the public square ruling. I'm not sure what ruling did Crowder use with Talib. I didn't know he had anything with her. But as for YouTube not being profitable, it is profitable now. It wasn't profitable before because there just wasn't the YouTube takes a lot of money to maintain, a shit ton of money to maintain. The number of servers with the amount of content that goes up hourly, minute by minute. It just takes an ass ton of servers. And it wasn't until they started with the super chat and getting in bed with the networks that they finally became profitable. But it could if it took them a month to post everyone's comments. Oh, no. Do you know how many people use Twitter every day by the hour? They still couldn't do it. The only thing that they could do is, just, okay, you can submit it, and we might get to it next year and see if it's okay to go up. So, yeah, they built in the protections, and one of the protections that's built into 230 is that it's okay to have to make available ways to censor you. Which sucks because it does. Even if it would be constitutional otherwise, which is how they get around the public square thing. Oh, look, normally this would be constitutional, but if that were the case, then they should be able to do it if Trump wants to block somebody. So it's a whole interwebs of shit, and I hope the Supreme Court hears it.
Yeah, I would be very interested to see how the Supreme Court would take a look at that.
Yeah, because last we heard, the appellate court upheld the decision.
Really?
And,
okay.
And the Trump administration, I don't quote me, but I want to say it was the 6th. It might have been the 9th. Either way, they were going to appeal, but I don't know if it's made its way to where the court has even looked at it yet.
Interesting.
Faithless says people would stop using it, problem solved. There's no problem with Twitter. It is a garbage fire, and y'all need to leave it alone.
Yeah, it's our garbage fire. It's my garbage fire.
Look, I would like it if they were more open. I really would. I think they get more shit than they deserve for being censorious. Is that a word? Censorious? Censorious. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of shit that gets censored, but a lot of people that I see, they're silencing righties. Really, what'd he say? Let me see what he said. Because I am a righty, and I have been on. Look, my punishments were stupid, but I get away with a lot of shit. And I don't necessarily think they're just out there banning everybody with a right-wing opinion. And I say that because I have right-wing opinions that I express quite often on Twitter and don't get shut down.
I'm probably one of the most active tweeters around. And here's what I've learned. If you're going to tweet, if you're going to be on Twitter, you can get away with a lot more as a lefty than being on the right or the libertarian side. You have to be just a little bit careful.
Let me ask you something, because you just said that, and I want to challenge you on that. Mm-hmm. Do you think people on the left get away with it more, or do you think people on the right aren't reporting it as much?
Well, I was about to explain that part of the reason for that is people on the left don't get reported as much as people on the right. People on the left build cases. One of the reasons that if you look at my Twitter history, you'll find that my tweets disappear after about a week. I have a third-party service that vanishes my tweets. And the reason is because there were people who were going back and building little cases about me. They were going back months and months and months into my history. And all of a sudden, I would find myself in Twitter jail for 24 or 48 hours or once for a week. And I found that to be tiresome. And it was on the basis of tweets that were, harkened back months and months and months ago. So I nuked all those old tweets. I paid $2.99 a month for this service, and it automatically nukes my tweets after 7 days. And it's microblogging. Okay, I'm not writing the great American novel. I'm expressing a thought that exists in a context that at most has about 5 days of shelf life, and I want it to vanish. I don't have that much of an ego about it.
Real quick, Evil One said, I got suspended for calling Chelsea Handler a cum dumpster for 12 hours. That's all you got for cum dumpster? I got 7 days for bimbo. That's some bullshit.
Oh, me. Yes. I got 7 days for suggesting that Israel should flatten Gaza.
Oh, yeah, that's not going to be one that they like.
They got pretty upset about that. And I just said, and it was after two Israelis, 2 innocent kids in an Israeli family got killed in a rocket attack. I was just furious. And I said, Israel ought to flatten Gaza. I found myself suspended for a week. And I thought that was a little bit excessive. And so I wrote Jack a welcome home tweet when I came back, and I said, I'm going to be, you've created a monster, Jack. You've created a very polite monster, and I'm a very educated man, and you're going to find that I will control myself, and I will, be very active and do everything I can to stay within the bounds of decency, but I will express my opinion, often, and be in your face as much as I can. And I immediately found myself shadow banned, of course, and have been ever since. But
One says it was the 24 hours for calling Jim Acosta a grandstanding whore. I was shocked at. Did you do that one afterwards? Because you can ramp up. The one that surprised me about the bimbo suspension that I got.
Yeah.
Because my original 7 days famously was for telling somebody they were as sensitive as a clit. I think I proved my point.
I was just going to say. That's demonstrably true.
My second, I think I've only been suspended twice for 7 days, and the second one was for the bimbo comment.
Yeah.
I got a 12-hour for calling somebody a dick.
Yeah.
And that was in between there. I've there's a oh no, my first ever. Oh God, that one was glorious. It was only until what was that? Maybe that one was a week. Maybe that was my first week one. That was the retard conversation.
Oh,
I made a video.
I got 12 hours for using retard. I've learned not to do
Oh,
that.
no. I got a week for this one.
Mm.
Deservedly so. I deserved every minute of this one. I wear this one proudly. This motherfucker watched one of my videos, and I can't remember what group he's a part of, but I said retarded something. And he's like, oh, are you saying all people like that are retarded? I'm like, no, I'm not saying that. But you said they're retarded. I said, no. I said a specific group of them are retarded. So you're calling me retarded? Yes, I'm calling you retarded. Oh, so you think I'm retarded because I wish I could remember the grouping. Like, yes, no, I'm not calling all of them retarded. I'm just calling you fucking retarded. And this conversation went on like 12 tweets back and forth. And finally goes, I could report you for this. I said, well, then report me, retard. Stop being a pussy. And he reported me.
Jesus.
Kingslayer, thank you so much. Covington Catholic proves that the left is treated differently than the right. Overall, sure. Do you mean on Twitter specifically? Are you talking about the death threats towards them? Because I'd give you that. Yeah. Because I know I reported one of those people. I don't report very often, but there was a direct threat made against the Covington kids that never went away. And I know it was reported because I did it myself.
Good for you.
There's very few things I'll tweet or
report.
Yeah.
But that's worth doing it when it's direct to something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I know it was never that they never got in trouble for it, because if you get in trouble for it, you have to take it down, no matter how long your suspension is. I've had ones before where they just told me I had to take something down with no suspension for it. And then other ones, the worst part about a 7-day suspension is that those shitbags don't start it until you see it.
Yes, exactly.
Like, to make sure like, you fucking pussies. You cunts. You absolute cunts.
It starts with the humiliation.
Cryptic, thank you. I don't have Twitter because I'd last 10 minutes. I survive.
Yeah, you adapt.
Look, you know what you do? This is what you guys got to do. You got to listen to me. Seriously, hear me out. When you just got to get that worst thing out. Don't threaten anybody ever. But you just have to call somebody the worst name you can think of. Aim it at a politician, an elected official. Because as long as you're just being mean to, the only exception there is don't even touch that on Twitter. Don't even touch it. Because you'll say something stupid like, okay, dude, and get a fucking 3-day suspension. What did Zuby get for that? 3 days?
Yeah.
72-hour suspension?
72 hours, yeah.
Yeah. He said, okay, dude, to a trans woman.
It was that simple. Misgender, and you're
And
done.
look, he did it on purpose. There's no doubt about
it. Yep.
To everybody, like, no, that's a multi-gendered. Stop it.
No,
stop it. Look, I've said dude to women a lot, but what he did there was on purpose. So
context is everything.
Who's the commie on stream? What? Are you a commie now?
I guess so.
All right. That's commie talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, but with that, I am going to wrap up here, Skep, because we're almost 3 hours. Holy crap. We're almost at 3 hours.
Well, good job. Thanks for having me on, man. This is
no.
this is great fun, and it's also a great chance to wish you a happy birthday again, and
thank you.
Also pass my compliments on to your lovely wife and your beautiful family. And
we'll
it's
do.
always great fun to spend a little time with you, man.
They're saying Borgs are commies. I got you.
All right, fine.
Technically, I guess.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Thank you so very much for the donations. You guys are very, very generous. Is there anything you want to shill?
Doing the Star Trek stream tomorrow on Blind Press's channel. That's at 11 a.m. Central Time on the Blind Press channel, noon Eastern Time, and some sort of math thing Pacific. I don't know how it works. Anyway, figure it out. And we're going to have some fun. And I am at Skeptic Alpha, SKEPTICALFA. Come follow me on Twitter. And Monkey, again, thanks for having me on. It's been great fun. And I'll see you on the interwebs.
And saying this is his. We'll do this the easy way. We'll just put a link in the chat.
Yeah, thank you.
There you go. Go follow him over there, guys. Thank you, Hammer, for joining us earlier. Make sure
Sorry, I scared him away.
Oh, no, actually, he was, like I said, he had his nurse here.
Oh, no, he's very intimidated of me.
Make sure you follow him on Twitter as well. Tonight, we're going to be on Scribe Light's channel, 9 p.m. Eastern Time for Lords of the Night. And then over on 2 Cents Plus for some Green Hell, I believe is what we're doing. I'm going to bed now.
Good man.
I'm
still
not
playing 7 Days to Die.
I'm playing on my my channel, my game channel.
Oh, very good.
But I'm not promising I'm going to be on either show tonight, guys. It's going to depend on what my voice sounds like when I wake up. Because last night it got real bad. So join the guys either way. I'm going to do my best to be there, but I'm going to sleep now. So guys, thank you for joining me. Hammer, thank you. Skeptalk, a pleasure, my friend. It's been a while.
Always a pleasure, Monkey. Thank you. And thank you, Jeff, for coming out and listening to us.
Everybody, have a good day. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
I'm going to